twins, most 26-year-olds. I mean, you're killing it, dude. You've done very, very well. Congratulations. But once you make your life choices, that will lead you what to do with this money. In the meantime, if you're going to live on 5 years or more, I'm talking about moving some of that above 15,000 towards an emergency fund. I mean, towards an investment. 15,000 being an emergency fund. This is the Dave Ramsey Show. I get asked all the time, when in the baby steps is the right time to buy life insurance? My answer is typically now. Life insurance is not part of the baby steps because it's needed when your family has debt and not enough savings to provide for their financial needs. That's when they're at the highest risk. And no matter where you are in your baby steps, it's a necessity, not a choice. This includes working husbands and wives, as well as stay-at-home parents. It's pretty expensive to replace those stay-at-home parent responsibilities. I only recommend term life insurance since it's the most affordable way to get the right amount of coverage and not break your budget. Go to Xander.com or call 800-356-4282. These are the guys I personally use. Term life insurance is inexpensive and your family needs this no matter where you are in your baby steps. That's Xander.com or call 800-356.
Could the meeting please come to order? We'll have roll call.
Mayor Seacrest,
Present.
Vice Mayor Harden,
Present.
Commissioner Carlisle,
Here.
Commissioner Warren,
Here.
Commissioner Martinez.
Here.
We have a quorum, Your Honor.
Thank you. Would you join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, please? I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can we have the invocation? I do.
Connie, Mayor, Mr. Burke, Commissioner, staff, I want to thank you on behalf of the Ministerial Alliance for the opportunity to come and to hold you up to the Lord and to pray for you tonight. And I would ask all of you if you would just bow your head in reverence to the Lord as we go to prayer. Father God, I thank you for the opportunity to come and to pray for our city leaders, Lord, for our police department. Father God, I pray for our first responders and the fire department. Lord, I pray for the employees of the city. I pray for those that come and they do their very best in the expertise, Lord, that you have given them to make this a better place, not just for me, Lord, but for all of us in our community. Father God, I would pray tonight that you would give them wisdom, that you would give them the support, Lord, from our community, Lord, and with each other as they face the decisions that they have to make, Lord. For, Father God, I don't know what all they do, but you do. So, Lord, I would ask you to have your hand upon their works, Lord, so that they could accomplish their duties in the service to our community. I ask a blessing for each one. And Father God, I ask tonight a blessing upon each one in a community, Lord, that puts herself in not just harm's way, Lord, but in serviture. Lord, I pray for their families tonight, for your peace and your comfort. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much.
Tawny Cook is filling in for our city clerk, Alicia Hidalgo. Need to approve the agenda?
I'll make a motion that we approve the agenda as presented. Oh, you're,
We may, as time goes along, might want to bump, what is it? Which one are you, Kelly?
14.
Number 14. And because they are going to be putting up Christmas decorations tonight at 7 o'clock. So if any of you are real ambitious and want to go help put up Christmas decorations, I'm sure Kelly will take volunteers. But so we might want to look at 14.
move them up.
Move them up to
How about the?
7A.
Yes,
Let's do 7A.
or 6A before we
6A
start.
after consent agenda, or
Yeah.
6B, or,
Yeah, 6B.
Okay,
I make a motion that we approve the amended or
Yep.
adjusted, amended agenda.
I'll second.
we have a motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Harden to amend the agenda, moving Kelly to 6B. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion carries 5-0. The next item is minutes of the October 23rd, 2018 regular meeting.
Can I do all these one time?
No, because we
Nope,
have some
everyone's
corrections.
separate.
Sorry.
Make a motion, we approve the minutes of October the 23rd, 2018 regular meeting minutes.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Carlisle, second by Commissioner Harden to approve October 23rd regular meeting. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion carries. On the October 25th meeting, it says Lynn Kane was present and he was not, so we need to amend it to say that Lynn Kane was not in that meeting. October 25th, 2018.
Make a motion, we approve the 25th, 2018 adjusted minutes.
Amended, corrected,
Correct.
special meeting.
Yeah, special meeting.
Okay.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Carlisle, second by Commissioner Harden to approve October 25th corrected minutes. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion carries 5-0. October 26th
I can't do that one.
special meeting.
You were there.
Was that?
I'll make a motion
That's
to
in
approve the
that-
October 26,
that's supposed to be
2018
good.
special meeting.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Harden, second by Commissioner Warren to approve the October 26, 2018 special meeting. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion carries 5-0. October 31st, 2018 special meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda for the October 31st, 2018 special meeting.
Second.
Okay, motion by Commissioner Harden, second by Commissioner Warren to approve the October 31st, 2018 special meeting. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion carries 5-0. This next one, November 6th, special meeting, we have a correction. The people present with Epic Touch were Becky Richardson, Becky Scott, and Mike Wiegers.
That is to take place of the AT&T members.
Yes, to take place of the AT&T members.
I'll make a motion that we approve the corrected
minutes.
November 6, 2018 special meeting minutes.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Martinez to approve the November 6, 2018 corrected minutes. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion carries 5-0.
No, abstain.
Oh,
Wasn't there?
4-0. November 8th, 2018 special meeting.
I'll make a motion that we approve the November 8th, 2018 special meeting minutes.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Harden to approve the November 8, 2018 meeting minutes. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion carries 5-0. Okay. Moving on to items from citizens. If you have something you would like to talk to us about, please limit your comments to 5 minutes and come to the podium. Give us your name and address and tell us what you would like to say. Okay. Are there any items from groups? Same rules apply. Moving on, we'll do the consent agenda. Is there anything you want to pull out of the consent agenda, gentlemen? Okay,
No.
let's have a motion.
Go ahead.
I'll make a motion that we approve the 6A of the consent agenda.
Okay,
I'll second.
okay. Commissioner Carlisle made a motion to approve the consent agenda 6A. Is seconded by Commissioner Harden. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion carries 5-0. The next item is 6B, and that is Emergency Communications Board Joint Resolution Interlocal Agreement number 14 that we are moving up. So Kelly Kirk can talk to us.
Good evening, Kelly.
Good evening, thank you, and I appreciate you moving this up so we can get out and help with the lights, and I know I'll
You
probably
can tell
never,
me what you really think in the morning.
I'll probably never live this down, I'm sure. I won't hear, at least won't hear the end of it. I have a memo in your packet and copy of the resolution. I believe you probably got a complete copy of the resolution a little later. I think a couple pages were left out.
Oh, I need to announce to
Of
the
the
public, there are some corrected additional pages back in the box back there if the public would like to see the whole article. Or
Yeah, when we're referring to section 4, and I believe 5 and 7 are not included in the packet. They were apparently stuck together when it was scanned. But basically in the memo, I tried to summarize 30 years for you in about one paragraph. The Little Sewer Emergency Communications Board, it's a mouthful, was actually put together and by the city and the county in 1989 and ratified at the state in January of 1990. As you probably remember back, we're in the middle of trying to complete a tower project right now, so we had that special meeting on September 11th, and prior to that, Attorney Kane reviewed the interlocal agreement to make sure it's valid and in place for a joint project like this. One of the questions that came out of that after that meeting was in section 4, the makeup of the board. Communications Director Pam Johnson and EMS Director John Ralston are here from the board as well. We put this on our next Communications Board agenda and discussed it. And to the best of our recollection, probably what we believe is that when, at the time of this agreement, the Emergency Preparedness Director was a joint funded position between the city and the county. So essentially, it was equal membership at that time, 3.5 and 3.5. Gave the board an odd number so you wouldn't have tie votes. So it probably made a lot of sense at the time. Well, then this thing has ticked along for almost 30 years, and it's worked very, very well. And I want to say I'm proud to be a member of the board, and I think from our discussions, Pam and John would back me up. Being an Emergency Communications Board, we have all rowed in the same direction on this, and we've never had anything but unanimous or consensus votes on the board. So what's working is working well. But then the other half of that is, and this also came up in our discussions in Communications Board, was we've got some big things coming down the road and things are going to change on us. So there's always that possibility for things to get, I'm sorry, Dennis, I keep leaving you out of this. Dennis is on the board as well. I was sitting next to them. So with the big things that are on the horizon, the elephant in the room is that this thing could get contentious at some point, and there might be split votes where it was split down city and county lines, because the radio tower project is probably a consensus thing. We want to get it done. We feel like we need to own our own tower and get off and not be beholden to someone else for our emergency services communication tower. But that, like I said in the memo, that is literally step number one. And changes in technology are going to necessitate probably a huge radio project in the very near future. I say that could be 5 to 10 years down the road, but it's going to be expensive. It's going to be in excess of $1 million or $1.5 million, and could go up from there. We just really don't know at this point. So probably now is the best time while things are still going well to address this and see how we want it to go. But Section 4 essentially spells out who the 7 board members are, but then in the very next sentence, it says the board shall remain at equal membership. Well, right now, it's made up of 4 county personnel and 3 city personnel. So I guess to kind of sum it up and get on with it is what we're here for tonight from you is to seek your guidance or direction of which way you would like us as a city to go when we go back to the communications board, to either leave this thing as it stands and just keep working in a good cooperative spirit, or to change and maybe amend the resolution and change the membership of the board to actually be an equal 4-4. Just looking to you for guidance of where you'd like to go as a commission.
I'm thinking to be fair, maybe, just off the cuff, I think y'all ought to have equal representation on the city and the county, but then maybe have a person at large that doesn't work for the county or the city to be your 7th vote, just in case.
Do you have your communication technician that's an at-large person? Do you have that person appointed?
I couldn't say who that person is, to be honest. Bob Jarmer?
He's at large.
Okay,
And he's just an advisory position, so he doesn't vote, but.
right. And he's in Great Bend, so he doesn't attend the meetings. He's just technical consultant, essentially.
Well, Kelly and Cal, who would be your recommendation as far as staff to be able to even out the board as far as the 4th spot for the city? And not even necessarily a person's name, what position would we be looking to appoint to that?
I have a couple of thoughts on it. My initial reaction was this is an emergency communications board. Jose Rosales represents public utilities because the communications center being, communications, it's not just radio, it's telephone too. They're the after-hours call center for the water department. So Jose represents public utilities on that. My next thought would be, it probably needs to be someone from the emergency services, which in the city, that's police and fire for us, essentially.
Absolutely.
So I was thinking it ought to be either another police representative or another fire representative. But then through further discussions, now that Brian Fornwalt is the airport operations chief and the airport being such a significant part of our community now, Brian represents the airport, fire department from an airport standpoint, and he also is representing the airport itself, which I know the Unicom frequency is not necessarily a part of our radio frequency, but, you know, that would be a significant incident out there. So perhaps either Debbie or Brian Fornwalt from the airport on the city side would be a good 8th person on the board to
Perfect.
equal the representation out.
Are you recommending specifically having 2 titles added to this rather than just saying 2 additional members shall be appointed? Because right now it says 1 additional member shall be appointed. So either we can look at changing this to have for the city, the chief of the city fire department, the city chief of police, and title, and other title, or just say, and 2 designees.
I would like it to say 2 designees from the city manager, because maybe if that idea doesn't work out, or maybe as things change over the future, maybe we do need another utility representative or another police representative or fire representative.
Kelly, in my business life, you never have an equal board. It's going to get you in trouble. So your off person needs to be somebody that's not tied to either one.
I'm really going to leave this up to, as far as the decision-making, you guys are the ones that are actively involved with this project and will be overseeing the construction of the tower and everything else that goes into it. I don't see this as being a tug-of-war between the county and city because we're all working towards the same effort in the end. So we could leave it the way it is, and that already gives us an offset board. I don't see that causing any issues. If you guys think that it's a better decision to be able to have more representation on there, then fantastic. But
Well,
it really,
I'm kind of thinking if we're funding 60% to their 40, we should have the majority representation
Yes.
personally.
Or at least equal. You're saying that we have 3 right now and they have 4?
Yep.
And they have 4 currently. I mean, that's,
Right,
Okay.
that's correct.
We definitely need to even it out at least.
The
Well,
4 is
first-
going to tell you what is 3
First
going
and
to pay.
foremost, Section 4, it's contradictory in its own words.
Yes.
So it says-
Exactly.
It gives the city 3, and then the very next sentence, it says equal membership of city and county. So something needs to change, and whatever it changes, it has to be approved by both the county and the city through an ordinance, and then it has to go to the Attorney General, and they have to sign off on an interlocal agreement, because we're changing this agreement, which was previously approved.
So we need a motion to make it equal and have a 1-2 break?
No, I think you just.
We
you
need
just-
Berlin to write something for us.
Well, I need direction, though. I mean, there needs to be some kind of a consensus, because if both entities won't agree to it on behalf of the city and behalf of the county, then we're just wasting effort, right?
Well, I think regardless of the fact that the city's funding 60% of it, if we are going to go to adding 2 more members, one needs to be a specific designee from the city and the other needs to be an at-large that's not tied specifically to either the city or county.
But then you're saying the city would still just have 3?
No, the city
No,
would have
city
4,
have
county
4.
would have 4 and 1 at large.
So now we're gonna put 9-member board.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's adding 2 extra positions, unless you just want to have an.
And that neutral one's gonna be hard to find, guys. I mean, the thing is, if you go 4-4, and they do have a split, it's gonna come down to a battle between our commission and the county commission anyway. So,
Possibly.
well, I mean.
Hopefully not.
Well, I mean, even if the communication board, let's say, goes 5-4, still like on this tower or whatever they do, you guys have to say, we're going along with it.
Yep.
And so does the county commission.
I think as far as the tower goes, we're ready to go with the tower. It's just a matter of, from that September 11th meeting, I took, where are we going to come up with the money to do it?
Well, I heard you was
where
writing the
we're at.
check, is that right?
Yeah, I wish. A lot of Powerball drawings between now and then, but I don't see it coming.
Chris said he was leaving now.
But, I don't think we need to make it a much bigger board where it works good now. It's just like the wording is contradictory in itself, and I think it probably made sense in 1989, but it doesn't really now.
I don't think it made sense in that.
Yeah, I
Well, it
don't know.
may not have.
I think we need to clean it up. Let's go 4-4. If that's what,
I agree with that, too.
Just go ahead and make it equal.
yep.
Do that.
And then
All
add,
right, you got some more homework.
and then just add it in there if it's 4 from the county and 4 from the city, that the city gets the tiebreaker because we pay 60/40.
Do we want one of those, do we want to add a specific title to the third, and then have one, as it's it's already stated in here? So right now it says, 1 additional member shall be appointed by the city staff to represent the city, street, and utility departments.
Well, that's between you and the city staff.
That's one. What do we want to do with the other one? Do we want to give a specific title like we have for our city police chief and city fire department? Is there somebody you would suggest regarding a title, or do you want just the 2 that you can appoint at large?
I would just say 2
Airport.
Yeah.
That makes
You
it
guys okay with
easier.
It leaves it up to more flexibility. That way, if we have any title position changes, it doesn't affect that.
Because you have names in there.
And for example, like right now, in my opinion, Brian Fornwalt would be probably an ideal person to put in that position. But say Debbie retires and Brian moves to the airport manager position, he might be overwhelmed and it may not be in his best interest to be in that. And the next person that takes his job might not be the radio guy. So maybe there'd be somebody else who would be in the best interest of the city to put in there. So I think leaving it as an appointed designee by the city manager gives us the best flexibility.
Agreed.
I think that's probably the least contentious between the city and the county. It essentially just adds an 8th person to the board, and we can keep rolling along like we're doing and keep things in good harmony and get some things accomplished, because that came up in our meeting. I realize, 2 taxing entities, but when it comes to emergency services, knock on wood, when the big one happens, we're all going to be in the same boat.
Yep.
And we're all going to be doing the same things, and the emergency communications are going to be one of the most critical things that we have. So we got to make sure we're all on the same page with this, and we can't let this get split down party lines, so to speak.
I agree.
We got to keep it in a good
I agree on the
harmony
party
as we
line. At the same
can.
time, you can't have one
Exactly. I mean, we do.
control the hammer while the other one's paying the bill.
Our job in this room tonight is to look out for the best interests of the citizens of this community, the city taxpayers. That's what we're here for. But at the same time, we're all one big community, and I feel like we need to at least keep an eye on that goal of keeping
Yes.
it in harmony as well.
Is there anything else in this before we go down this road and send it to the Attorney General once we get to that point that needs looked at or modified that you guys have discussed?
I personally don't have anything else, and we have not discussed anything else.
Okay. Okay.
So you don't need any action tonight, then?
No, we can't
do
take
anything
action
No, we
tonight.
don't. No
I'll have
action.
to forward it to
Yeah.
Dan, and he can get it to the county to look at, and they can hopefully say that, yeah, they're agreeable to that, and then we can pass the ordinance at that time, and they'll pass a resolution for county.
Thanks for helping.
Thank you very much, Kelly.
Thank you. and we'll go
Thanks
get
for helping my
calls.
cookout.
Sorry, I can't help you this year.
All right, see if you got any volunteers while you're there.
Yeah.
Have them sign a waiver.
The next item is ordinance number 4509, granting a 10-year ad valorem property tax abatement beginning in 2019 tax year. Hi, Jeff.
Hi,
Good evening.
good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. We're going to consider ordinance 4509, which is the kind of the finishing act of what we've been working on for several months. If you remember, last month, we had a public hearing and passed a resolution. And basically, and I'm going to read this so I get it right, you found that KBK Industries LLC is an existing entity operating in the state of Kansas, and that it intends to expand its operation by adding a new product line through the acquisition and equipping of a building in the city for an additional manufacturing facility in the state. You found that that's a requirement to grant that EDX abatement. What we were waiting on was for ADM to get out of that building. They've, as of Friday, I think that's right, this past Friday, ADM was out of the building. And so now this sets the stage for consideration of this ordinance. I attached a copy of that for you to review. It has a description of the property. Also was attached a development agreement between the city and KBK. And what that does is that just follows the Kansas statute, and it sets forth the requirements that they need to meet. And there will be an ongoing filing process. They will do an annual filing to make sure that, that all the terms of that are being met so that they're still eligible on an annual basis to continue to receive the abatement. Gilmore Bell, they prepared that agreement. KBK's reviewed it, Lynn's reviewed it, and everybody seems to be happy with it. So one thing that Lynn suggested I talk about, and I'm sure we addressed it in the public hearing, but we prepared a cost-benefit analysis. We're going to be abating their taxes, so there will be some loss in revenue for each of the taxing entities. And the state prefers to see a benefit of 1.3 to 1. They like to see that 1.1 to 1 would be good enough to grant the abatement. 1.3 seems to be the level that they like to see, and I just jotted down the ratios for each entity so that you'll know that this is a good thing for all the entities involved. The city's ratio is 1.5 to 1. The county's is 1.47 to 1. 480's is 2.59 to 1. That's because state statute a few years ago changed, and the only part of that tax that's not going to be abated will be and that's across the state for any of these abatements, is a school district's capital outlay tax. That will continue to be paid, but that's the only portion. That's why their benefit is greater. The college is 1.57 to 1, and the state of Kansas, they're the big winner in this, 4.64 to 1. So across the board, this benefits all the entities in the city and the county. This is, it's good on many, many levels. But all the requirements have been met. I have visited with representatives from all the entities. The mechanics of going forward at this point, if you pass the ordinance tonight, then each of those entities then has a 7-day period in which they can protest the abatement. It would have been nice if we would have been able to go to each of the boards and say, hey, can you give us an affirmative vote? But the timing with ADM and their getting out just didn't allow that. I mean, we had to move real fast with getting this because we have to do then filings with the county and then filings with the state Board of Tax Appeals to get this on board before the 2019 tax year starts. So Kevin Ballman with KBK is here. If you have any additional questions for him, now would be a good time.
Are we making tanks out there now?
No, not yet.
I just saw them sitting out there, so.
No, we purchased those tanks from another supplier. They went out of the tank business. They're still in business. They just got away from the tank manufacturing. So we're going to refurbish those, and we've got customers that are interested in those. So
Fantastic.
we should be building tanks here in about 3 weeks.
Awesome.
I'll make a motion to approve ordinance number 4509.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Carlisle, second by Commissioner Harden to approve ordinance number 4509. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion carries 5-0.
Great.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you very much,
Jeff.
Jeff. Thank you guys. Wish you the best of luck.
Appreciate it.
The next item is ordinance number 4510, AT&T franchise agreement.
And I don't believe we have anybody here from AT&T. This was the results of one of our special meetings, and everything was what we agreed upon. So basically, we just need a motion to go ahead and approve it.
Has our attorney looked over?
Yep.
Make a motion, we approve ordinance number 4510.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Carlisle, second by Commissioner Warren to approve ordinance number 4510. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion carries 5-0. The next item is number 9, and that's ordinance 4511. Epic.
And I thought I had saw
Touch.
some Epic Touch people here.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, there they are.
Okay.
This was a result of a special meeting that we agreed upon all the terms, conditions, attorneys reviewed it. We're good to go.
Make a motion, we approve ordinance number 4511.
I'll second.
Who seconded? I didn't.
Tony
I'll
seconded.
second. Tony did.
Motion by Commissioner Carlisle, second by Commissioner Martinez to approve ordinance number 4511. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion carries 5-0.
And I want to thank you guys.
Thank you for coming. Appreciate it. Next item is ordinance number 4424-A2.
And Kevin is in Chicago at a training seminar, and so Ms. Darla so graciously agreed to present this.
Good evening.
Absolutely.
Would it cost you?
He hasn't
He
figured that
hadn't got
out.
done paying yet.
Do the short straw, huh?
Darla Harper, I'm the permit tech and the administrative assistant over at the building department. This ordinance, basically, Kevin and I got to looking at the actual state statute, and what we had before kind of contradicted what the state statute said. So essentially, all we're trying to do is just be more in compliance with what the state statute has.
So
What? Go ahead.
So they're saying basically that if somebody has a license in Garden or Andover or whatever, that's a mechanical, plumbing, or electrical, or contractor's license, that we will notice, or we will recognize those licenses and give them a license here, right?
Absolutely,
I think that's all it says, isn't it?
pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. It talks about different ways of licensing, but then it says that those licenses are valid in any other city or county in the state of Kansas.
And we didn't used to do that, right? We made them, either show certifications or,
I'll make a motion to approve the amendment to ordinance number 4424-A2.
I'll second.
A motion by Commissioner Harden, second by Commissioner Carlisle to approve the amendment to ordinance number 4424-A2. Any discussion?
actually, I'm going to go ahead and say something anyway. I'm not necessarily opposed to it, but it's something that might not have been considered is if some city lowers the standards for giving licenses, what are we going to do?
Well, that's also governed by state statute.
Yeah.
They can only go.
There's minimum things they have to do. So we should be safe on that front. And if you look at the ordinance, it also has language in there that states, if they have one from another city or county, we're still going to expect them to provide us certain documentation so they're satisfied before they issue them the ability to work
Okay,
here.
because I think I disagree that they're smaller communities. I don't think that require people to have their.
They're supposed to.
Yeah, I was going to say in
And let me
accordance
take
with
that
state
back.
statute.
I'll take that back. They do plumbing, heating, air, electrical. They don't contractors. We actually make contractors here, but you can go into Oklahoma and build a house in Guyman or Beaver or Hooker, and the contractor doesn't even have to have a license. And I guess that's what I was referring to. They all have the electrical and the other, but I don't know about general. And I know in our community, we've tried to make sure that general contractors were licensed too, but I'll visit with Kevin about it sometime. I'm not opposed to recognizing somebody else's license if they're licensed somewhere else.
This is just the state of Kansas reciprocity,
Yes, only
not
Kansas-issued
Oklahoma
state
or-
licenses.
Or other.
Yeah,
states.
it's not, if somebody, well, in fact, today, we had someone from Colorado send in their information, and they were kind of complaining because they said, well, we're already licensed in Kansas. We don't know where yet, but I said, well, we still need, the rest of this information, so, because this hadn't passed, so.
Ron, if you look at section 8, the first sentence there, I think helps curtail your concerns. It says issued by another city or county in the state of Kansas, obtained pursuant to examination as contemplated in Kansas statutes.
Okay.
So it says right there,
So-
they've got to obtain it the right way in order for us to.
Right, so just if Ulysses or somebody gives somebody a contractor's license, but they didn't obtain it the same way Garden City or Dodge or Liberal does, then it still doesn't count.
So long as it's not pertained per
Yeah,
Kansas statutes.
and that'll be Kevin's job to research that,
That will be.
yeah. Or Darla's.
Probably. Which is also why we asked for the letter of recommendation / competency from the city that they've been licensed in.
Any other discussion? Are we ready to vote? All in favor? Motion carries 5-0. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Darla.
Okay. Number 11, resolution number 2296, environmental abatement.
Good evening, Keith.
Hi.
Mrs. Mayor, Commissioners, before you is resolution number 2296. It's for the environmental abatement of nuisance conditions at 1109 North Kane. This residence first came on the radar of the building department back in 2016 due to dilapidation of the house and excessive amounts of property and uncleanliness. At that time, the owner was making small improvements to stay ahead of us. She was working. Then in June of 2017, Liberal Fire Department responded there to a fire, which was investigated as an arson. The owner of the residence did plead guilty to a charge of starting the fire at the residence. So due to that being a subject of evidence and the residence being a subject of evidence in an investigation, it kind of slowed us down some. In December of 17, I sent out certified notice to the owner stating that the property needed to be fixed up. Then in January of 2018, I received a letter from Farm Bureau Insurance stating that they had a vested interest in the property and would like us to hold off. Over the months that followed that, I corresponded with at least 2 different contractors who had been asked by the mortgage company to go look at the residence and give quotes. Both of those contractors that I talked to did recommend that the house be demolished. Throughout the time since the fire, there have been multiple complaints from people in the neighborhood. Smell, pests. I have had multiple correspondence with maintenance companies and the financial institutions, and 0 results have been yielded. They haven't done anything to the residents. Another notice was sent out October 1st of this year to the owner and by email to everybody that I've corresponded with on the residence, and nothing's been done. So it's been 16 months since the fire. It was in a state before the fire, and there has been no work to correct the nuisance to it. It's still fire damaged and halfway boarded up, and it's causing an issue. So I know there's at least one resident from the neighborhood here to discuss on it. The staff would ask for your consideration in approving this so we can get this residence demolished and get the problem taken care of.
Looking at the pictures, I don't have a problem with making a motion to
It
approve.
looks worse than what your pictures show you. Do you want to speak? Would you like to say something? Would you want to come up, please?
I'm a newbie in all this, so.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine.
Hi, my name is Donna French. I live right next door. I'm on the corner of 11th and King. This has really become an issue. I have, with the help of my sister and the web thing, found out how to write a petition, a legal, don't step on anybody's toes thing. But I've got these pages of people that are so concerned, not only our property value, because I live right next door, and whoa, things are bad over there, but also the safety of the little kids that go over to the elementary school. We are all afraid that some little kid's going to get all kinds of Nancy Drewish and go in there and start and get hurt.
Absolutely.
And I, at one point, thought, I'm going to sell my house and get out of here. I have been told I wouldn't get much, and I have put every penny I have into my home as an investment.
Yes, ma'am.
And I put up all those years with those people. It was crazy. And I would like just to, now that they're gone, let's get rid of that, have a nice, cute little house put there. And, there's a lot of improvements that have been made on our block from 11th, where I'm at, clear up to 15th. I painted my brick and all that, and now I've got other people that are doing that, and we're looking good. But that has got to go, please.
Absolutely. I appreciate your diligence with going through the process of getting a petition signed. That's fantastic. But
I've met a lot of nice people.
this is something that is pretty common sense to pull the plug on. So I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 2296 for the residential demolition of 1109 North Kane.
I'll second that.
We have a motion by Commissioner Harden, second by Commissioner Carlisle to approve Resolution 2296 for the residential demolition of 1109 North Kane. Any discussion?
I have a question for Keith.
Yes, sir.
Who owns the home? Is there a mortgage company?
It is still, according to the county, it is still under the last name of Rose.
Okay.
So the mortgage company hasn't filed with the county that I found to take ownership.
Which Rose?
It's still under Michael.
But he's been dead for years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The main thing is after this is just make sure we follow through the proper notice to give them the notice of a hearing so it doesn't come back later
Yeah, I was gonna.
against the city.
It's standard operating procedure for me to go post a 10-day notice on the property that says that you guys have voted to approve this. When I do that, if it passes, when I do that tomorrow to go post it on the property, I will take that same notice and I will email it to everybody that I sent all the financial institutions and the maintenance companies and everybody that I've corresponded with will get a copy of that notice.
Who's going to pay the bill when we tear this down?
The city pays it, and then we put a lien on the property.
Yep. Absolutely.
It's a taxpayer.
Okay.
Just make sure you follow section D, 5D of the code regarding trying to get service other than just posting it.
Okay.
It'll probably never be an issue. If you have questions, you got my email, so just email me on it.
Does anybody wonder off these? There's a lot of cold air I was breathing in. Thank you,
Hold on to them,
sir.
I'll put them in the file.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good
Thank you very
Thank you,
much
ma'am.
for everything you did. Thank you
so
for coming.
much. Thank you,
Keith,
Keith.
thank you for your hard work on that, man.
Okay, the next item is
Did you guys actually
number,
vote?
Yeah.
yeah, we voted.
We voted for his comment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we did. And then we talked after we voted. Okay. Next is resolution number 2297, establishing optimal insurance under Kansas Public Employees Retirement System.
Mayor, Commissioners, Kansas Public Employees Retirement System, also known as KPERS, offers optional group life insurance for employees, their spouses, and dependents. Local employers must individually affiliate for optional life insurance by state statute. City staff is requesting the governing body to adopt a resolution to affiliate with the retirement system. The earliest possible affiliation date is January 1st, 2019. And the Retirement Board Systems Board of Trustees will review the resolution and the affiliation request. Once approved, the affiliation is irrevocable and cannot be canceled. And staff is recommending adopting resolution number 2297 to affiliate with KPERS to offer optional group life insurance to city employees. And I might add that this is at no cost to the city.
Fantastic.
Can I have a motion to adopt?
I'll make a motion to adopt resolution number 2297.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Harden, second by Commissioner Martinez to adopt resolution 2297. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion carries. Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Can I also add one more thing?
Yes, ma'am.
I would like to introduce Angelica Arroyo, and she will be the new HR director beginning next week.
Congratulations.
Angelica has been with
Angelica.
us for a little over 7 years at the city, 2 years in her current position, but she knows the ropes well.
Thank you.
Very happy to have you. Looking forward to working with you.
So is this your last meeting with us, Shannon?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, thank you so much for all your time.
We will miss you. We truly will. Thank you for all you've done.
Thank you for everything.
Thanks.
Okay, resolution number 2298. Jeff, you're back up.
Mayor and Commissioners, city has received a petition from Liberal Plaza LLC requesting the creation of a community improvement district, which encompasses their property. Liberal Plaza is north of 15th Street. It's not the entire strip there. It's the portion that doesn't include the old Walmart property. So a couple of properties, it's the Penny's section. It all has a common facade. Anyway, what they would like to do, they want to make some improvements to their property. They're going to be doing a little over $1 million worth of improvements to the property. A lot of it is improving their parking, and then they also want to put new facade on the front of it to improve the looks. What they're asking for is a 1% CID. So what this actually entails would be adding within the district, and in your packet was the petition, and that shows a map of what will be included in that district. Liberal Plaza LLC owns all those properties, all those businesses. In their lease the property from them. They own 100% of the property. So there will be a notification going out to all their tenants that there'll be a public hearing about this. They've already had discussions with all their tenants, so nobody's going to be surprised by this at all. And I don't know how familiar all of you are with community improvement districts. So the previous commissions have approved them. But I guess I'll probably just ask if you guys have questions about that.
I have a question. They're talking about just collecting 1 cent. Okay. How does that affect J.C. Penney's and all that?
Yeah, everybody, it will be, every business in that district will collect the additional 1%.
To go to the owners?
Yeah, it cycles through a process, yeah, but it goes back to.
So the tenant doesn't have a say, yes or no?
You know, they're able to come and talk to at the public hearing. But the tenants are also getting a benefit from this as well. Improved parking and you know, more attractive, facade to their business. So the beautiful thing about community improvement districts is that there are 0 city dollars involved in this. The improvements are paid for by the property owner. The 1 cent additional sales tax comes back and pays for those improvements. What will happen, all the construction will be done, we'll arrive at a final figure of what the actual cost was, and then they'll begin to collect that additional 1 cent sales tax. So that sales tax will either equal the amount that they've paid out, or it will end in 22 years, whichever comes first. The nice thing about it for a city is that it's 100% paid for by the customers that go to those stores and pay that additional 1 cent sales tax. So as far as the city's concerned, it's the perfect incentive, because we're not putting out any money for it. All we're doing is allowing that to be collected within that district.
So tonight, the action we would be taking by approving the resolution is approving the public hearing for December 11th?
Well, tonight what we're doing is we'll be establishing a public hearing, which will be December the 11th. At that point in time, we've got a representative from their law firm here, but there will be, their property manager will be here to answer any questions that you have at that point in time.
Perfect.
We will do that. At that night, there will be an ordinance that we will ask you to vote on, establishing that CID. At that point in time, then after that, then the construction will begin. So, I mean, we may be looking at a year or so down the road before this sales tax is put into effect. But this is good. They've been working on this for a long time. This will be a great, it'll make that look better. It's hoping that they will then be able to, they've got some additional property that's been undeveloped, that then they will begin, attract new people into that development, start developing that too.
So like the empty one building there now, though?
Well, I think they're all full. They're full.
Yeah.
But they have some out parcel properties there.
I thought like I guess the old Hastings building was part of Walmart then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, with this, they're not actually profiting off of this at all, except for getting their costs covered. So there's no actual, once they hit 100% of what they actually spent and set in place, when that 1% kicks in, that's all they're getting.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
And you have an executed petition from the owners?
I do. We actually got here today. So they overnighted it, so we got it today.
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 2298, setting a public hearing for December 11th, 2018 at 5:30 PM.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Harden, second by
Commissioner Martinez.
Commissioner Martinez, to approve resolution number 2298, calling for a public hearing December 11th, 2018 at 5:30 PM. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much again,
Thank you,
Jeff.
Let's see, we've done number 14. We're ready for number 15. Karen? Lafreniere?
Good evening.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. Last month, I was here about bidding out the sale of residential property for the lots that we formerly had for self-help housing. We did receive one bid from that newspaper, the newspaper ad that we put in, and it was from OC Quality Custom Homes, and it was for $10,000 per lot.
as we had discussed in the October meeting, there will need to be a letter of map revision for the lots, I believe.
Didn't we say they had such a long time to build homes on it or forgive the property?
Well, we would take it back.
Yeah.
What I would recommend is that if the city attorney could do a contract to that effect with OC
And we
Custom
probably
Homes.
need to spell out what we call construction. It
Yes.
doesn't mean go park the Bobcat there and walk away.
Yeah. Completed homes.
He's anxious to build on the property, so I don't think there'll be a problem.
So you can handle what?
So we just need a motion to accept the bid from OC Quality Custom Homes?
Yes.
I think we ought to wait till the contract. What do you think?
You guys, you can give the city manager the authority to sign off on that contract. I mean, he technically has the authority to do it.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is,
Anyway.
you can sit here and talk all day on land sale. If it's not in writing, it doesn't mean anything anyway.
Okay.
And Mr. Burke has the authority to sign off on that on behalf of the city. He's chosen to go through the commission on a lot of.
And I would like to change that for future.
What?
Have the commission approve contracts.
Oh, that adds so many moving pieces. I don't know. I think, when you have a competent city manager, that definitely makes it a lot smoother experience. Otherwise, man, we're going to get bottlenecked on so many different things waiting for commission meetings to take place.
We're doing it now.
I think for the purposes of tonight's
Yeah.
meeting, we just would need a motion to accept the bid.
I'll make the motion, we accept the bid to sell the
I'll second
property.
that.
Motion by Commissioner Martinez, second by Commissioner Carlisle to accept the bid for the sale of residential property. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Karen.
Thank you, Karen. Okay, the Recreation Center, Matt.
I'm sorry, commissioners, I couldn't keep him from coming.
I apologize.
Good evening.
Security and everything out here. Very good, if you could pass that down. I apologize, I didn't get that to you guys in time. Good evening, I'll keep this short. I know I'm long-winded at times, and this has been a long meeting. I'm here tonight with the permission of the commission meeting, with the commission, not the meeting, but with your permission to hopefully start improvements on the current rec center. Every day I show up to that building, it seems shingles are falling down and it's kind of becoming a game to get into the front door without getting hit. We also have got a lot of sighting issues. It's getting beat up. Some of our baseball players have bad aim. And some of our mowers have accidentally hit it. On the north side, we have some knife wounds from old dances that used to be held there. So it's kind of a historic marker at its own, but it has seen its time. The building, it's time for an improvement. It's kind of become an eyesore at the park. You have a beautiful park here and a building that just, it looks like trash. Sorry to say it, but it doesn't represent the city and what we're standing for, what we're needing to do. So the first thing tonight, on number A, the staff is requesting the following: the acceptance of a donation of $102,000 for the remodel. Does this got to go in parts here? or-
Yep. I'll make a motion to accept the $102,000 donation for the Recreation Center remodel.
I'll second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Harden, second by Commissioner Carlisle to accept the $102,000 donation for the rec center remodel. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion carries.
To whoever that was from, thank you very
Yeah,
much.
and
Greatly.
we're very fortunate to have such a great donation. I mean, going back to the community, it's a big thing. I'm a crier when I beg, and they must have felt it
They
was.
listen to you.
It was get out of my, I'll keep her moving, sorry. On number 2, legal staff would recommend the following to accept the bid from HMH Roofing Construction for $76,654.
Who is HMH?
The gentleman right here standing right.
Yep.
Can you guys stand up? There we go.
Fantastic. Thank you guys for coming.
Thank you. You're
And
from-
if you guys got any questions, we're able to answer them.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Are we local?
Yep.
Well, they're locally, we get a general contractor's license here in Liberal, I guess Darla's going here. Yes, sir.
Yep.
Absolutely.
From Hugoton, though, right?
I'm sorry, was that?
From Hugoton?
From Liberal.
Oh, you're from Liberal? Oh, okay.
Yep. And they're in here in Little.
This would include redoing the roof, the gutters, the siding, what am I missing here? The downspouts.
Basically, the whole outside except for
Pretty
the
much
window.
putting a new dress on the pig, you know?
Yeah, you're taking the mansards off and the siding's going all the way to the roof then.
You betcha.
Lipstick too?
Yeah, so we're getting rid of that.
Getting all that ugliness out, getting the lights replaced. I mean, this thing's gonna look beautiful.
Absolutely.
She's gonna be cooking ready for prom.
I make a motion, we accept the bid from HMH Roofing and Construction for the amount of $76,654.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Carlisle, second by Commissioner Harden to accept the bid from HMH Roofing and Construction in the amount of $76,654. Any discussion?
I still have a couple of questions.
Okay.
Chris isn't here though, but were you going to sign this proposal or estimate?
I believe we're
Or-
working on doing
Or you're going
half
to redo
now
it?
and then half at the end.
That's what I was, are you going to do that? 50% up front?
For the materials,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Are they bonded?
Well, I just wondered if Cal, if that's something that we're able to do. I saw that on there, 50% down upon signing. Is that something that we're generally do?
Do you have the money yet?
Do I have the money? Yes, sir.
Okay, so
And then-
if you
yeah.
physically have the money, I would say, yeah, that's something we
Are
can
they
do.
bonded?
Well, nobody's going to be bonded.
Nobody's
on
bonded?
that, No.
No.
The other question is, I was wondering, I was looking at the estimate here and have these zero items. Basically, the specs that
Yes,
you guys bid, you guys are completing, whether it's got a number by it or not, it's included somewhere else.
It's on the
Everything is,
contract, so that way it matches the engineer, but our pricing was including that, it's just since he wanted to note it on there, we went ahead and noted it, so that way.
Okay.
It doesn't have a price, but it is noted.
right, and that's my question is, basically, you're doing it by the specs that the engineer said, all the items that were done. And I noticed that you listed them, some of them didn't have them, but that doesn't mean you're not doing them, you're doing it as the complete.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a complete unit, since
And
the
I- and I-
pricing was just one unit, but we went ahead and separated just to show on the
Right.
contract that it's there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We had-
Gary,
we had-
I take it you have reviewed these and that meets what you came up with?
Gary did, okay,
And we did have Earls come up with that, so.
yeah. And that looked good to me, I mean, the
Yeah.
description of what you done and the drive-by I did, yeah, with the,
It was your
I
baseball
mean, I
player,
think the
so.
mansard roof with the old asphalt shingles, that looks really good.
Vintage, I think, was a great way to put it. When people walk in,
Not
they're like, hey, this is
good, yeah, vintage,
vintage,
yeah, there you go.
classic, old school, which is the new in. I mean, it's kind of,
Is there any
it's
other
not as
discussion?
hip as,
That's all I had, is asking about the 50%, because I didn't know if that was,
did we
that
vote?
doesn't make.
Not yet.
We're getting ready.
Oh, okay.
Okay, any other discussion? Go ahead, let's vote. All in favor? Motion carries 5-0. Okay,
Thank you guys very much for coming.
Thank you.
thank
Yeah.
you, thank you.
All right, on the second one, I'm up here. This is kind of exciting. We always ask the community, hey, what can we do for you guys? Always want their input on programs, events. So we had a bunch of people come up and say, hey, let's do something different. Let's start an adult prom. I know, you guys are like, hey, now I got to take my wife, or you can take your girlfriend. That's fine with me.
Or both.
My high school girlfriend, yeah. So what we're looking to do tonight is just see if we could get approval for the sale of alcohol. We personally would not sell it. The Fairfield Inn would be the seller. This dance would take place at the new convention center. We have 2 dates in mind at the end of January. I think it's the 28th. I did not write it down. That's awful planning on my part. Or the Saturday after Valentine's Day, so you don't have to buy your wife or girlfriend any Valentines, but just take her to a
Or
dance.
both. So, the city will be running the dance up.
The city will be doing the dance. We will getting all the profit off the gate or the door. for ticket prices.
I was actually, is the police department doing the security, or what do you?
We will hire. yeah.
Okay, because I mean, if you're gonna have alcohol, you're gonna have security, right?
Yes, and we can limit people they do whatever we want, so we could keep it to beer and wine or champagne, no hard alcohol. They were doing whatever we wanted, they would take that request.
Are we getting a percentage of the alcohol sales?
No, that was something we weren't getting.
But the state of Kansas all gets a percentage of the tax on the alcohol, just like any other alcohol sales from a liquor store or restaurant or anything like that.
Yeah, 10%.
Yeah.
So who does the alcohol sale?
They would be taking care of all
Yeah,
the
all of it.
purchasing and all the selling.
They have the license.
Yeah, they have the license, they have their front
So
bar.
they did it like for the Ryan Crowder?
Yeah, they
deal,
did it for
they had
the
that?
UFC fight where
Yeah.
they've got that, and
And
Because
actually,
you
they
might
have
end
the
up having
insurance.
some of
too.
that going. If you're gonna have alcohol, there might be a few people punching.
I hope not. I hope, we want it to have fun, you just go
Depends if
dance.
you bring your wife and your girlfriend, you know?
That might cause a
That,
fight,
Yeah.
keep them separated.
Well, I think this is an awesome looking community event and something that we've needed for a long time. I will definitely make a motion to approve the sale of alcohol at the Recreation Department Adult Prom 2019.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Harden, second by Commissioner Warren to approve the sale of alcohol at the Recreation Department Adult Prom event in 2019. Any discussion?
I did not mention this, I was waiting for y'all to pass this. You are all required to be there because you will have to be
It ain't
dancing.
happening.
Oh, I'll be there.
That is why.
I will definitely be there.
Locked you in the books, thank you. Connie, make sure we get that in an email.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you very
Great
much, Matt.
opportunity. We'll
Well,
get
then I
the
guess I got a
information.
question for you.
February would be.
Since this is not on city property, do we have to have,
I don't think we had to.
I
I don't
don't-
think it's bad policy though to have a city event to come to the city commission and say, hey, we want your guys' blessing on this. But since it's a different entity that's actually providing it,
yeah,
there wouldn't necessarily need
I
anybody's.
just want clarification.
Well, and we've never done anything like this
Yeah.
before, but moving in the future, say we want to have a trivia night and we want to go host it at a bar or something, maybe, I don't know, this is just all hearsay, this is all out there, off the record right now.
Yeah.
It's very good practice to come and throw it out.
Cal Ripken football.
You know, let's try to stay on the youth sports.
So, I mean, that's a great way to make more money off of,
Adult,
I'm gonna stop.
activities,
I'm gonna
right?
get in trouble.
Matt, thank you so much for all your hard work on these kind of events, man.
The next item is Airport Annual Wildlife Hazard Management Training. Debbie gets,
Good evening, Debbie.
Commissioners. This is kind of a housekeeping item, but I need to get your permission, please. Every year, we have to provide annual wildlife management, I guess it's wildlife hazard management training. In the past 5 years, we have utilized the free services of the USDA. The training is the same every year. I've received the training on a USB drive, and that's not permissible for me to get that from him. We have to actually have face-to-face training. We're not getting a whole lot of goodness out of it. It's stagnant. It's the same thing every year. So I started looking at other options and found out that our airport consultant does offer this. It's at a cost, of course, because I have to drive from Kansas City, $3,284. And you see that there's an email from Lynn Martin with the FAA, the compliance consultant, or compliance specialist, and she's given permission to use the land sale money. So we'll have police, airport personnel, possibly fire personnel to attend this session. I'd just like permission to enter into this agreement with Lochner and use land sale monies for the cost.
So your people plus the fire department plus who else?
Police.
Police?
Anyone that's out on the movement area that's required to implement the wildlife plan, if they see a coyote or something like that, they need to take measures to scare it off the runway. We're required to do an inspection every day prior to each commercial flight, plus an evening flight or a nighttime inspection of the entire runway system and a daytime. So we're out there 5 times a day generally, and looking for wildlife, looking for debris on the runway. So it's very important that this is a part of it, that we watch for the fox, the coyote.
Because the coyote ran across the runway when they was there.
We are working on the wildlife deterrent fence, but I think it's going to be a couple of years before that's completed. So this is going to be a long-term thing that we're doing these inspections, but everyone needs to be informed what they're looking for.
I appreciate you going out of your way to find something that was new to kind of switch up the training we've been receiving. So hopefully this will end up being, even more comprehensive than what we received in the past.
I anticipate it'll be a 4-hour session.
Awesome. I'll make a motion to approve the annual airport wildlife hazard management training in the amount of $3,284.
I'll second.
I guess I should say from H.W. Lochner.
And utilize landfill monies?
And to utilize land sale money.
Okay. We have a motion by Commissioner Harden, second by Commissioner Carlisle, to approve the annual airport wildlife hazard management training for $3,284 with H.W. Lochner and to use airport land sale funds. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Debbie.
Thank you, Debbie.
Okay, number 19, public utility easement.
That would be me since, well, Gary's here, but I'll do it. Because that would be out there in the East Industrial Park where we've had our discussions with maintaining utility easements for future development in conjunction with National Beef and turning the lagoons over. People have done the legals on it. I believe Lynn has reviewed this.
I have. I mean, I'm relying upon his assessment of the proper legal descriptions, but
But this is everything that we've agreed on in the meeting as far as utility easements, nothing to do with temporary staging easements. These are strictly just utility easements that we would be able to utilize in a future date should the need arise.
Okay, if we do a motion to approve the 3 public utility easements for River Industrial Edition per Earl's Engineering, is that agreeable? Is that good enough? Or how do you want the motion?
Do they need to be broken down?
no, it's all one document.
Just say approve the 3 public utility easements? Does that do it?
I'll make a motion we approve the public utility easement.
Okay. Second?
I'll second.
Okay, motion by Commissioner Carlisle, second by Commissioner Martinez to approve the public utility easements. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion carries 5-0. The next item is Mid-America Air Museum.
Okay, and basically that's me again, looking for guidance in what we're gonna do. You know, when we lost the last director, we've had several meetings and kind of indicated we want to go with a nonprofit MOCO type thing. And that's still sitting on the attorney's desk because we're a ways off from that happening. We want to keep a good working relationship with the Mann Foundation. They're a good friend of the museum. We don't want to alienate them. But right now, we've got a new director out there. Bob Immel is taking over. The museum is open. It's, headed in the right direction, but we've got the wastewater plant, economic development, we've got some other fires. And basically what I need to know from your commission, do I need to have Lynn move that to the top of his list and try and work on that agreement? Or do we look at next year and see where we want to go with this?
I think we need to table this for a while.
Well, and I think since the money's not even budgeted until 2019, and there's been a lot of miscommunication thus far, there's no point in trying to change anything drastic now with the new director out there as well. So let's give the new director a chance to be able to get his footing and see what he's able to do with it, and in the meantime, be able to start strategizing about what we can do in 2019.
I think we need a table.
Is that a motion?
I'll make a motion we
Okay.
table it.
Okay.
I'll second that.
We have a motion by Commissioner Carlisle, second by Commissioner Martinez to table the Mid-America Air Museum discussion. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion carried.
I think we got way too much on our plate for Mr. Lynn right now to.
Okay, the next item is your report.
You're the one who took the job.
I know I did.
All right, thank you guys, I appreciate it, and good luck with, and I'm gonna talk a long time, so I won't be able to come help you.
We're done.
Yeah. Now, of course, as usual, I want to thank the staff, they've been doing a great job. We're getting things going, and hopefully everybody's happy. I don't have everybody knocking on my door, and hopefully commissioners aren't getting phone calls every day with people that are upset, so I think we're headed in the right direction. Obviously, I don't need to cover the decorations, but that's going on right now, so if any of you guys, when you're done, want to go help them.
What's the temperature?
Yeah.
It's fun. I did it 3 years ago.
And
Kind of cold.
Karen left on me already on our crosswalk that we're looking at for up there by the community college to go across North Kansas. We did get a reply back from KDOT. The good thing is we don't have a yes or no, but they're coming on the 29th for a site visit. And how we're selling it is, of course, is a safety issue, but we're also piggybacking it off the PED bike path type thing that would be. So that's a good thing. And the other thing is, and Miss Reed isn't here, we have started as of this week, as of today, and I passed this out to everybody, all the commissioners. We are taking and going to try and start an annual tree trimming crew starting in November every year. It's going to be compiled of somebody from Parks, Building Department. James Kulo is taking over and running the program. Water Department, anybody that's got an available personnel during the winter months, we're started on it. We'll be working on anything in the right-of-way. If Taylor's got a dead tree in his backyard, sorry about your luck, you better call somebody to get it. We're only handling the right-of-way, and there's also, this has been published on the website and the paper. It's been on Channel 15 on the intersections. There is official sightline guidelines we will be trimming to meet site path. And he's not here, but I've got to give Brad Beer the credit because Brad's the one that came up with this idea. Well, how are we going to, we're talking how are we going to do this, because we can't just dump it all on the street department because they've got enough work to do. So I give credit where credit's due, and Brad's not here for me to pat him on the back, so you guys can.
God, we don't want to do that.
Matt will tell him Cal stabbed you in the back last night.
One question I did have about that program, I've had several citizens ask, because there was mention of it being cut into firewood and left in different parts of town for people to pick up. Is that going to be publicized via social media and stuff like that? Or is that even going to be done?
Well, we kind of got to play that by ear.
Okay.
I mean, the thing of it is, once we start cutting and stacking, we'll have them following us.
Gotcha.
That's one of the things you don't have to do very much advertising. Word of mouth goes real quick on free wood.
Okay.
And I think Brad said something about they wouldn't leave it there for long term.
Yeah.
Most days, I think they'll haul it off.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Because this is going to be, a long project. We're not going to get all of Liberal done this fall, but hopefully we'll do a good enough job that we can get caught up, and then once we get caught up, hey, it'll just be a real quick trip every fall.
Absolutely.
But it's going to take some work to get there because it's been ignored a long time.
I'm excited that you guys are trying the program.
And other than that, I think that's basically all I have.
Okay. Items from commissioners, I'll start off. I want to congratulate Alicia Hidalgo, our city clerk. She's in her 4th year working on her certification to become a municipal clerk. So we appreciate her time and dedication to that. Night of Lights with the Baker Arts, their fundraiser is coming up November 17th at the Ag Building. The Senior Citizens Thanksgiving Dinner is this coming Monday, November 19th at 6 p.m. at the Senior Citizens Center. And we had a ribbon cutting, the chamber did a ribbon cutting this morning for Salty Dog Saloon, and there'll be a ribbon cutting tomorrow for Hertz Rent-A-Center. So things are happening. That's all I have.
I'll keep it short. I, as always, appreciate everything the city staff does, PD, fire department, everybody. You guys have a hell of a tough job, and I appreciate how diligent you are doing it. To the citizens of Liberal, even though the room cleared out pretty well, continue reaching out to us. I know that, this first year of being on this commission has been a great learning experience for me, but I'm finally starting to hit my stride where I feel more confident, so I need more citizens to reach out with more ideas and communicate more so that I can keep honing that in. Outside of that, just, keep paying attention, keep coming to the meetings, and keep being involved in your community.
Good. Well, I want to appreciate city staff, but since Chris is gone, I can't give him a heart attack. I'm 63 years old, born in 55, and this building right here was the fire department, the police department, city hall, water department. This building is worn out. And I talked to Cal, and he said, that ain't happening, but I would look like a possibility maybe building us a new law enforcement center, one that is utilized that way.
You gonna donate the sales from Rufino's and Jack's till we get that fund built up, or how are we gonna do this? Another dreamer with no input. We just don't, that's gotta be on the back burner.
Yeah. I like the idea of it, but I think the tough thing is, I've thought about, like with South Middle School and stuff like that, the hard thing is here in Liberal, the PD has to be in the center of town to have equal response time on all sides. And there's just not very many ideal locations that I see available.
That's why you're gonna have to tear it down and
Where are
start
they gonna
over.
be in the meantime? Living in tents?
They'll move you out of your office, really.
I don't think there's that much room in my office.
I think it's a fun idea to explore, but I think that's a multi-year planning project that we need to set pretty far
Dennis
out.
has got a remodeling program going on now.
Small one, new carpet and so forth, but we would love to entertain that idea for a new department. Matter of fact, phase 2 of the jail was this lot just east of the jail for a new police department. That was back in the late 90s. So the diagram's been done, we just haven't gone on to phase 2 of that.
And what are you looking at? What are you looking at monthly payments? Yearly payments, really? 4 million?
Jack.
What?
What are you gonna do, build them an outhouse?
Well, yeah, that's what,
you better add probably, I'm gonna guess, and Gary can help me, besides a building like this, what we're probably looking that we would need for that facility, probably 10 to 12?
I'd say at least 11. My goal is about
Oh,
11.
loaded.
I think we need to save this for later discussion. Let's move on.
The wheels are turning, so thank you.
You're done?
I'm done.
I just don't even want to say anything after that.
Hey, you just wanted light bulbs for the dugouts at the baseball field, huh?
Yeah, some
I wasn't asking for nothing.
$500 air conditioners, I said, that's not bad.
You've got a chance.
Hey, I don't know whoever made the donation for the rec center. That's great that there's people in our community that are wanting to help with projects in the community, and it's good to see stuff like that. Sheena's gone now, but I'd like to thank her for her service, and again, Angelica, I guess we talked about it in the meeting the other day when her stepping up and stepping into a spot, but thank staff for what they do, and thank the other commissioners here that, and the new positions, Cal or whatever, that we're looking for ways to improve what we haven't done, like the street thing on the sight lines. There's a lot of bad ones in town, that is true, and see that we're looking at trying to make improvements and work together to do it. So that's all I have. Don't have any $4 million or $8 million or $11 million projects. So,
hey, at least I'm putting it to good use.
I guess thank the staff for the little snow job we had this weekend. They were out 4 o'clock in the morning, and I spoke to Cal and said we had no problems, I guess, no issues. So.
The only problem we had was my phone blowing up at 5, and I'm like, they can't be everywhere at once, guys.
Yeah, probably had a few kids that didn't know how to drive in it. I think there's a few accidents.
Yeah.
Out at Western or,
About 10 accidents.
yeah.
A couple hit and runs.
Yeah.
And we had to cancel some flights at the airport because we had ice on the runway. They're back running again this afternoon.
I guess, and thanks to guys for putting out the Christmas decorations. I've done that before, ride the ladder truck up there. That's all I have. so.
Okay, thank you. Can I motion to approve the vouchers?
I'll make a motion to approve the vouchers in the amount of $1,460,138.43.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Harden, a second by Commissioner Warren to approve the vouchers in the amount of $1,460,138.43. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion carries. We are adjourned.